Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Well, all eyes will be on the House of Reps Committee investigating the NDDC's activities today. Well, now we've got Dr. Chris Akia, who is a former president of IYC. He joins us via Zoom as well today. Good morning, and thank you for joining us today. Well, yes, there'll be a lot of focus on this NDDC probe, but it's been on for a while, and yeah, you may have been reading and have some perspectives on this matter. So could you tell us, look, what's your thinking about how all of this is playing out, affecting the region ultimately?
Good morning, Chamberlain, and thank you for linking me up. I guess everybody in the Niger Delta will be at a loss and perplexed as at what we're seeing. And clearly, I think that the government needs to redirect the kind of capacities it wants to put in the Niger Delta area to solve our problems. Over the years, perhaps with
oh, there we seem to be.
Okay. People want to siphon money for them to become governors and all of that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. Go ahead. We can now.
Good. So they siphon money for their own gains at the expense of the people. In the last 6 years, that agency has not been able to do anything meaningful to add value to the system. Already before then, we complained that they're not doing enough. They're corrupt and they need to be censored and looked into. But the recent happenings, it's just a clear indication that the way and manner people are appointed to this agency need to be reviewed. Our people need to have an input in it, and people who are concerned about the region needs to head those agencies so we can have value for the money that is being spent there. Money going into the agency is enough to that. I can tell you clearly that I was looking at the list of contractors paid. Most of those roads are not in existence anywhere. The camel's back has been broken. This is a time where the government needs to look at this so-called forensic audit and review the approach to make sure that accountability is achieved in that NDDC. Otherwise, it's a pipe dream. I'm excited to let you know also that the Ijaw Council are just transmuted and there's a new president. Where things are done and the right people are given chances to lead our region. That's the kind of thing we do. We no longer allow to just be struggling with it. We want to take responsibility of the agencies that are supposed to be able to cater for our people. We want to ask questions, and we don't care if these are our own people. We will ask them questions and we'll stop them from siphoning our money going forward.
Where do you think this House Committee or National Assembly's probe on activities, I mean short-term activities of NDDC, how do we avoid this being a circus?
Okay, yeah, that's been the case. You know, it's counter accusations and accusations. So when the National Assembly tries to ask questions about what's happening in the NDDC quickly turns around and say, look, you guys are asking questions because we didn't give you jobs. And that's how the country runs. For every investigation of this nature, this kind of thing will happen. But it should not take away the fact that the element of truth, it's there. It's clearly there that there's misappropriation. So let the House, the Joint Committee, do what they need to do, put whatever they want to put in the public space, then let the people work on it, and the appropriate investigative agencies, the EFCC, the ICPC, and the NFU, all those organizations, then get into those information and help put in the Nigerian space and in the Nigerian system the truth about what has happened. Now, the NDDC also have a right to, excuse me, to go to court or report any corrupt member of the committee who they so know have access funds or contracts and have not done so. And also the right agencies can go after those people because they do not have immunity. But we should not water down what the House of Reps and Senate are trying to do about finding out why 81.9 billion of our money will disappear or will be spread and shared in pockets of private individuals within this short period. We're not talking about 20 years, we're talking about a couple of months. And I'm wondering what they want to do with this kind of primitive accumulation of wealth. And what is more painful is that these are supposed to be the best of the best. The MD is a medical doctor, a professor for that matter. The EDP is also a medical doctor. And they should know that life is very important. The people need to have good roads, good water, good health system, and they don't care. So for me, we are where we need to ask questions, and the House of Reps is on the right direction. Now, walking out of the House of Reps, the committee is also in itself insubordination. The law has a position for that, and I think they should invoke it totally. Otherwise, people will begin to get away with it. You invite committee agencies or MDAs to the House to investigate the walkaway on the House. So the House must enforce its powers as provided by the law. The other day, the Honorable Minister for Labour, Keamu, Minister, came out and then said he had issues with them and he left. Recently now, the MD of NDDC has done the same thing. So before you know, it becomes a pattern. People come to the House and walk away. We can't take that.
Well, one of the things that you mentioned the other time is actually quite troubling. The fact that some of the projects on the list, or claim to have been done or being done within the Niger Delta region, some of them do not exist anywhere. And it raised a question in my mind that successive administrations have come under fire, intense, criticism by Nigerians for not developing the Niger Delta. And there we have the Niger Delta Development Commission that is supposed to be doing that. Now, Niger Delta Development Commission has successively been led by citizens indigenous of the Niger Delta. Shouldn't we be asking questions? Because a researcher told us that all of this ruckus that's been going on in the NDDC dates back since almost the beginning of the NDDC. Shouldn't we be asking questions shouldn't Niger Delta indigenes be asking questions of their own people who have headed this, agency, this commission, over the years? Or is there something that Nigerians don't understand?
Yeah, exactly what I said. I said, luckily, I'm just returning from the creek where we just vetted the new leadership of the Ijaw Youth Council. And part of our focus is to bring pressure again to the region and to the government about doing justice to our region. Because the little gains we had between 1998 and early 2015 seem like they've been eroded slowly by a deliberate attempt by the people who have occupied offices that represent our region. So in the Niger Delta Ministry, for instance, between 2015 and now, I don't know what they've been doing in the budget, because the only major project that they have on that ministry is the East-West Road. It is in bad shape, in a state of disrepair. You can't really move too far from on that road. The sections that have been done are getting broken down, and it's very upsetting. And then the NDDC in itself keep getting releases from the government, year in, year out, and all we get to see is board of directors fighting themselves over how to share money, accusing one another. They sack one board, they bring another board. It's the same thing. And then they talk about water hyacinth. Do you know water hyacinth is a scam? And they spent 40 billion to distill and clear water hyacinth. From what Joy was saying, 40 billion could do a whole lot of piling work and dredging work in our region for communities that have been eroded away. And this it does not get involved. And the last time they did the reclamation work was very clear, and those people are happy about it. But they continue to collect money for this thing. So we are going to take action. We will mobilize and we will encourage our youths now, because I'm already over that age, but we'll encourage our youths now to see until the right people are appointed amongst our people to deal with this.
A problem from where you stand with how management committees or heads of the commission are appointed for the NDDC?
Do you want to take that again? I didn't get to hear you.
I said,
Sorry.
Is there, from where you stand, from your own opinion, from your own perspective, is there a problem with how management is recruited for the NDDC, for which we are having this problem?
Yeah, clearly. Oftentimes, actually, board members are appointed for the purpose of political gratification instead of for the purpose of delivering a goal, unlike other clients. So if an agency of the nature is created to serve a purpose, you want to look at people who have capacity, who are true and sincere, so government can actually achieve its goal. But what we're seeing over the period is clear. I work for a party or a system, and then I know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. I get my name on the list. As soon as it gets on the board, I begin to service those networks. So all these monies that you see back and forth, when there's a conspiracy, kickbacks and settling of one another and all of that. So once they start settling those who have appointed them, they are emboldened to also steal their own share of the money. So until we break that cycle, the good intention of Mr. President to support.
Right, one more thing, Chris. You know, the sorry to jump in. The NDDC Act stipulates in Section 7 Sub 3 that in carrying out its functions, the commission shall be subject to the direction and guidance of the president. So do you expect the president to take any major step other than the forensic audit which they've asked to be done?
Yeah, I think right now that IMC needs to be sacked first. They cannot preside over the forensic audit. As I speak with you, we do not know what agency. Is it Pricewaterhouse? Is it Deloitte? Is it KMPG? What international audit firm or local audit firm that's doing the auditing? And this is over like a year since we're talking about forensic audit, and nothing has happened. And while they are talking about auditing it, the people who are supposed to preside over the auditing agency are themselves culpable of corruption, even higher than the one that they are probably going to audit. So I think that a substantive board needs to be in place and a line be clearly drawn for the board to put his feet on the ground running, while whatever happened prior to the appointment of the board is now audited. You can't stop existing because you want to audit the agency. As I speak to you, if you take away the NDDC away from the Niger Delta, you cannot find any federal government project that is meaningful, in terms of road, in terms of healthcare, that is in the Niger Delta. So the NDDC is like the lifeline, even in terms of economic development and capacity building for small businessmen in the region. In the last 2 years, all that has been put on hold. So the president needs to appoint a substantive board, a firm board that is well supervised directly from the presidency, because even the way the Minister of Niger Delta is going about it is an illegality.
All right,
yes,
Mr.
the act that established the NDDC do provide powers for the Minister of Niger Delta to supervise that agency.